Have you ever noticed that sometime after 40, your brain suddenly starts acting like it has bad Wi-Fi? You walk into a room, and you suddenly forget why you're even there. You reread the same email 3 times, and somehow you still don't even know what it said. I mean, you meet someone, they tell you their name, and your brain, it deletes it before the handshake is even over. Hey, nice to meet you, Brian. 2 seconds later, hey, nice seeing you, Steve. Not even close. And somewhere along the way, you start to wonder, am I getting old? Is this normal? Why do I suddenly feel slower? Well, here's the good news. Most people think this is just aging. And yes, getting older can change sometimes. But for a lot of people, your brain, it isn't actually old. It's just overwhelmed. It's under-recovered. It's underslept. Maybe it's inflamed or quietly running on survival mode. So today, I'm going to walk you through the real reasons your brain feels slower after 40, which ones are actually fixable, and what you can start to do this week to fix it, to feel mentally sharper again. And stick around, because one hidden issue affects millions of people, and it gets blamed for just getting older. And you can make a healthy brain feel like it's running at 62%. So let's get into it. Let's start with a hard truth, okay? After 40, you can't get away with being stupid anymore. And by stupid, I mean the 25-year-old self that somehow survived. I mean, back then, you slept 4 hours. You ate Taco Bell at 11:45 p.m. You drank coffee like hydration was optional. You stayed up too late. You had stress. You made terrible decisions. And somehow, you still functioned. I mean, not well, but you were functional enough. Because at 25, your body was like, hey, don't worry about it. I got this. But at 42, your body's more like, oh, really? You stayed up till midnight. Interesting. I guess we're gonna ruin your whole day tomorrow. Suddenly, one bad night of sleep, it feels like emotional damage. You forgot words, you lose focus. You walk into rooms with absolutely no purpose, and you start wondering, why does my brain feel like mashed potatoes? Well, here's why. As we age, our brains become less forgiving of poor recovery. Your margin for error, it gets smaller, meaning that sleep debt is gonna hit harder. Stress hits harder. Alcohol hits harder. Poor eating hits harder. Your body starts sending invoices, and those things come with interest. And the first part, many people feel it, is in their brain. All right, let's talk about the big one. And honestly, this is the thing most people completely miss. Bad sleep. It's not just not getting enough sleep. It's bad quality sleep. Because most people think, I slept 7 hours, I should feel fine. Not necessarily. You can be in bed for 8 hours and you can still wake up feeling exhausted, because sleep is where your brain does its housekeeping. Think of sleep like overnight cleaning crew. Your brain spends the night organizing memories, resetting emotions, clearing waste, recharging attention, and restoring that mental energy. So when your sleep gets interrupted, that cleanup crew, it can never finish. And the next day, your brain starts to feel slow. You feel foggy, distracted, forgetful, like you're mentally walking through peanut butter. And most people think this is normal, but they're tricked by that, because brain fog usually doesn't show up dramatically. It sneaks in slowly. You start saying stuff like, I'm just tired. I guess this is what 40 feels like. My memory just isn't what it used to be. And eventually, you start accepting things. But maybe you shouldn't. I mean, I can't tell you how many people say, honestly, Brandon, I thought this was just normal aging. Then they improve their sleep. They address an underlying issue. And suddenly they're like, wait, this is what normal feels like again. Their energy starts to improve. Focus improves. Mood improves. Sometimes even their spouse notices first. Because apparently, people who sleep better, they become less grumpy. I know, it's a wild concept. Now, I'm not saying sleep fixes everything. You're still gonna forget why you walked into Costco. That building is literally psychological warfare. I mean, you go in for paper towels and you leave with a kayak. But if your brain feels slower than it should, don't ignore it, especially if it's happening gradually. All right, and after 40, this becomes way more common, especially because one condition becomes dramatically more likely. It's sleep apnea. And here's the scary part. Millions of people have it, and they blame symptoms on aging. Oh, I'm just tired because I'm older. I guess this is just middle age. No. Well, maybe, but not always. If you snore, if you wake up tired, if you need caffeine just to survive, if you're crashing every afternoon, if you have brain fog, or if your spouse says you stop breathing, your brain, it may not be aging. It might be sleep deprived every single night without even realizing it. And let me give you a reality check here. A lot of people think, well, sleep apnea means old guy, really overweight, falls asleep everywhere. It's not true at all. People always say, but Brandon, I'm not that overweight. Or, I don't stop breathing, so I don't have the problem. Well, how would you know? I mean, you're asleep. That'd be like saying, well, I don't snore. Meanwhile, your spouse is sleeping in another room. They're researching divorce. I mean, sleep apnea can look like brain fog, poor memory, low motivation. You can have morning headaches every day. High blood pressure could show up. Poor focus. You can have more forgetfulness. Or you're needing caffeine just to feel human. And here's the most frustrating part. People spend years blaming themselves. I'm lazy. I'm unmotivated. I'm getting older. When really their brain has been getting interrupted dozens of times an hour all night long. I mean, imagine trying to charge your phone while somebody keeps unplugging it every few minutes. That's kind of what poor sleep feels like to your brain every single night. And yes, this is absolutely going to affect your memory. It's going to affect your focus. It's going to affect your mental sharpness. And yeah, even your mood. Because a tired brain, it starts to work slower, period. And here's another one that's sneaky, okay? Stress. And it's not just, I had a stressful Tuesday. I mean chronic adult life stress. You got kids, you got work, you got your parents, you got money, you got responsibilities. And that's the moment that your family starts to ask, well, what's for dinner? And somehow you're now responsible for feeding humans. Again, for the 9,000th time. At 20, the stress felt temporary. But at 40, the stress becomes like a subscription service. And chronic stress changes your brain. Your body releases more cortisol, your stress hormone. It's helpful short term, but it's terrible long term. Too much cortisol over time is going to bring on mental fatigue, poor focus, forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, brain fog. And the worst part, stress also wrecks your sleep. So now you've got stress. It's causing poor sleep. It's causing brain fog, which makes stress harder to handle. And your brain, it basically starts buffering constantly. Now this next one surprises people. Movement. Or honestly, the lack thereof. I mean, after 40, many people accidentally become professional sitters. You're at your desk, you're driving in your car, you're lounging on the couch, and then you repeat that cycle. But movement matters to your brain a lot. Exercise improves the blood flow to your brain. It improves your memory, your mood, mental sharpness. I'm not saying you need to post rise and grind. Pain is weakness leaving your body. Relax, Chad. You just need consistency. I'm talking about walking, strength training, movement after meals. Because one of the fastest ways to feel mentally sharper is to move your body. Seriously, even a 20-minute walk can help mental fog. And now let's talk about food, because this one hurts. After 40, food suddenly has consequences. Sugar crashes, they hit harder. Heavy meals make you sleepy. And somehow you gain weight by just looking at pizza. It's amazing. Blood sugar swings absolutely affect your focus, your energy, your mental clarity, and that brain fog we've been talking about. If breakfast is basically coffee and hope, this might be part of your problem. Here's the good news. Protein helps. Hydration helps. Less ultra-processed junk helps. And before somebody gets mad, no, you don't have to become some kind of kale influencer. Nobody wants that. You just need to make slightly better choices more often. So let's talk about a 7-day brain reset. Because what can you actually do? And here's a realistic reset you can try. It's not perfection, it's just improvement. Try this for the next 7 days. Get morning sunlight. Even 10 minutes helps reset your brain. Walk daily, especially after you're eating meals. Eat more protein earlier in the day. And protect sleep like it actually matters, because honestly, it does. Stop doom scrolling before bed. Your brain does not need one more conspiracy video at 11:47 p.m. And move your body. Even modest exercise helps. And finally, if you're waking up exhausted, if you snore, if you need naps all the time, or you feel mentally foggy, please stop assuming that it's just you getting older. Because hidden sleep problems, especially sleep apnea, can absolutely make your brain feel slower. And fixing your sleep problem can sometimes feel like getting your brain back again. Look, aging is real, but feeling mentally awful after 40, this is not something you should automatically accept. Because sometimes your brain, it isn't failing, it's just exhausted. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button, because we talk about sleep, energy, brain health, and why your body starts acting weird after 40. And I want you to tell me in the comments, what's your most after 40 brain moment? Forget why you walked into a room, lost your phone while you're holding it, called your kid your dog's name? I know, I'm not the only one. And one last thing, you're constantly tired. You're foggy, you're waking up exhausted every day, and somebody tells you that you snore, please don't just assume, well, I guess it's just me getting older. Because sometimes the problem isn't your brain at all, it's your sleep. And when people can finally fix that sleep issue, sometimes it feels like they get themselves back again. If you want help, check out Parkway Sleep, parkwaysleep.com. We help people all across North Carolina finally get the answers they need and finally get to sleep better. I'll see you on the next one.